This is the Rocky Mountain Showdown. The Centennial Trophy is the hardware, but bragging rights for the next 364 days are the ultimate prize. Colorado holds the upper hand, but CSU has proven time and time again they are a force to be reckoned with. Who will be king of Colorado?
Brent Stover in New York, Colorado. Colorado State is underway in Denver, streaming live at cbssports.com/CBSSN. Early touchdown run. Steven Montez, 7-0 Buffs will get there when you guys are done. Brent Stover in New York, Colorado. Colorado State. He's streaming live at cbssports.com/CBSSN. Steven Montez, Katie Nixon, touchdown, 14-0 Buffs. We'll take you there when you guys are done in Kalamazoo.
Thank you, Dave. It is our pleasure to welcome you to an evening of mile-high college football in downtown Denver, the 90th Rocky Mountain Showdown. Already 14 on the board in just 9 offensive snaps for Colorado, but the Rams' second drive marching. Carter Samuels, end zone, touchdown! Colorado State. Ola B.C. Johnson from Carter Samuels, 26 yards out. And we are off and firing with the big cannons in downtown Denver between the Buffs and the Rams. We've already had touchdown drives of 75, 87, and now 75 yards. And we're just getting started, Mr. Taylor.
This is the Colorado State offense we expected to see as we see a penalty.
Offside on the kicking team, number 56. Penalties decline. Try is good. Timeout.
All right, 3 touchdowns to get you caught up on. It started with Colorado, a 14-0 lead. The Buffaloes have been barely opposed by the Ram defense. The 2 touchdown drives for Colorado, 5 plays and 5 plays.
It started with Steven Montez's legs and then his arm as he drops a dime to Katie Nixon, who just runs right past the defender. And then it's Colorado State's turn to return the favor. KJ Carter Samuels finding Ola B.C. Johnson. We've had some offensive fireworks early on in this ballgame, Carter, but look at the yards per play there for Colorado. It's been defense optional for the Colorado State Rams 2 weeks in a row.
Mike Bobo, and this is incredibly important for Colorado State. Mike Bobo is on the sideline, 10 days in the hospital, had to spend last week's game versus Hawaii in the booth. And so Mike Bobo on the sideline returning, and this is without a cane, this is without a boot, and this is a wonderful sign for Mike Bobo, Colorado State, and everyone around college football in this state who respects Mike Bobo.
No question, and one of those guys that respects him is that guy right there, Mike McIntyre, the head coach for the Colorado Buffaloes, who's having a talk with his defense right now. But his 6th season as a coach, you take a look at that record there, Carter. 2 years ago, Pac-12 Coach of the Year, but make no mistake about it, Mike McIntyre is a little bit on the hot seat. This is an extremely important year for him. I expect this team to play better, but he needs them to, because this could be a long one if not.
Making this a very important Rocky Mountain Showdown. In fact, Mike Bobo has yet to win one of these Rocky Mountain Showdown matchups. Mike McIntyre and the Buffs have won the last 3. You go all the way back to February of 1893, which is incredible. And here we are in downtown Denver again. It has been 3 straight wins for the Buffaloes over the Rams. In fact, the Buffs have won 11 of the last 15 against Colorado State. So momentum, but for the Buffaloes 2 years ago, played for the Pac-12 championship, then last year slipping to 5-7 and 2-7 in the Pac-12. Now, Mike McIntyre has talked all offseason and talked to us about how we feel like that was an aberration. And the 14-0 start, that's what the Buffaloes were anticipating in 2018. And now 14-7, they'll get it back again. That'll be another touchback, so Colorado will get it at the 25 again as we take a look at our Chick-fil-A starting lineups. Steven Montez carrying on a family legacy at quarterback. His father, Alfred, quarterback at Texas Tech in western New Mexico, cup of coffee with the Raiders. Alfred was Steven's quarterback coach from the backyard all the way through high school in El Paso, Texas. Alfred told the Post, Steven likes to be the guy and is one of the most experienced quarterbacks in college football, making his 16th career start. He is the guy for the Colorado Buffaloes.
He's a gifted passer and a gifted runner, but the leadership that was lacking a year ago seems to be here early on in 2018.
7-for-7 start for Montez. Hands off, that's Winfrey to get 3, and that qualifies one of the better plays. Trey Sutton on the stop. Let's take a look at the rest of the Buffaloes on offense.
Well, Colorado lost their top 3 receivers a year ago, but making them forget about that already tonight is Laviska Shenault. He's a 6'2", 220-pound wide receiver.
That was McMillan. That is the graduate transfer from Virginia Tech who takes it across the 40-yard line. Another big gain for Colorado. That is their 6th play of 10+.
They have nobody that's setting the edge. That's run defense 101. That's several times we've seen the Buffaloes now be able to attack the perimeter for Colorado State. They've got to flatten out or bring some of their safeties down and run support to stop that.
Montez play action. There's a quick pop. Shenault, who's been targeted tonight. Shenault gets 9. They'll mark him down just shy of a first down. Watson, let's look at the Ram defense.
Well, I think if Colorado State is going to be successful, they've got to get after the quarterback. That's Emmanuel Jones, number 33. He moved to defensive end. They need him to show up.
McMillan, another first down. Colorado is just making this look easy on offense.
And you see the body language of Colorado State, Carter. They're just kind of walking around, hips on their shoulders or on their hips. There's no sense of urgency from this defense.
Yet to have an incomplete pass. Another big one of 10+ inside the 25. Trayvon McMillan has 19 yards on this one. Hicks on the stop. 7 plays of 10+ already. 3rd drive.
Josh Kaiser and Brett Tons, beautiful job, left tackle and left guard respectively, creating a beautiful hole there in the B gap.
Here are the keys to the game, brought to you by America's Navy.
Well, for Colorado offensively, they must execute and limit mistakes. I'd say job accomplished there. Defensively, they have to pressure the quarterback. They've been able to do that, getting KJ Carter-Samuels off his spot. Colorado State, they've got to start fast and sustain drives. They did that on their last one. Defensively, they need a pass rush to help the DBs, but they need a lot of things. They've got to help stop the run as well. They're moving Laviska Shenault to the backfield, Carter, creating some one-on-one mismatches against linebackers. They've really got to settle down, get a plan, catch their breath, but it's been really hard for them to because Colorado is gashing them.
This is the 6th offensive play of this drive by Colorado. Longest drive by the Buffaloes yet, because the first 2 touchdown drives were in 5 plays each. They haven't even got to a 3rd down. 6th play of the drive. Evans is in the backfield now. Montez completes. He is still perfect. And that is Shenault as a blocker, and he delivers a blow too as he's wrestled down to the 15 by Watson. The sophomore from DeSoto, Texas, Laviska Shenault. They clearly want the football in his hands.
And they're putting him in the backfield and getting it to him very effectively. Now he's lined up right here on the edge of the line of scrimmage.
Montez handing off. Evans inside the 10, inside the 5. 1st and goal, Colorado. Jordan Fogle on the stop. That's a gain of 12. 1st and goal, Buffs.
Shenault had a nice little block there.
Montez handing off. Evans dropped this time. Lost the football, appeared to get it back. He did. Evans nearly coughed it up inside the 5. Tonight's Red Zone is brought to you by Verizon. 56% touchdown last year for Colorado. Not good enough.
No, under what you want. Ideally, you're looking for 75%. You see the national average is only 62%. If you're Colorado State, here's a great opportunity to keep these guys out of the end zone, try and make them kick a field goal. Watch Montez's legs when they get down here.
Already has 1 rushing TD and make it 2 passing touchdowns for Montez. Bo Bisharat has the TD grab. 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns for Colorado.
Just off the play action with the boot, Bisharat sneaks away. There's nobody that's on top of him. And the 3rd effortless score for the Buffaloes tonight.
Like Ralphie before the game, this Colorado football team is running unopposed around Mile High. A 21-7 start for Colorado on Colorado State with John Schriffen, Carter Blackburn, Aaron Taylor. The score tells you a little bit, but how about 3 touchdown drives? Steven Montez doesn't have an incompletion, has 3 touchdowns himself, and the Buffaloes haven't even faced a 3rd down.
Montez is perfect, 11-11. I mean, it literally has been effortless. Defense optional a week ago for Colorado State, and it's been all Buffaloes all night.
In college football, we're used to seeing offenses outpacing defenses these days, but I don't think I've ever seen 3 TDs virtually unopposed. It has been all one-sided, and yet, as we take a look at our Chick-fil-A starting lineups for the Rams offense, KJ Carter-Samuels, TD drive on the last possession. We spoke to KJ last week. He said one thing he was certain of, not everything would go perfectly. His first game as a Ram, he would have to handle it. Second series, had the 1 interception last week. After that, led 4 touchdown drives, nearly pulled off a miraculous upset. They get down 14-0 tonight. He leads another touchdown drive. So the record-setting performance last week, 537 passing yards, school record in his debut. And yet here is KJ Carter-Samuels, already down by 2 touchdowns early, trying to deal with some more of that adversity for the Rams as we look at the Colorado State starters.
Well, I think they've got to feed the ball to Preston Williams. He's a big reason why KJ Carter-Samuels was so successful. He's a big play, physical wide receiver that attacks the football and is a special runner when the ball's in his hands.
Play fake. Here's Carter-Samuels. Zips it to the outside into the hands of Preston Williams, but Abrams up to the task as we look at the Buffalo defenders.
Well, it's all about the pass rush, and you've got to have a guy, Drew Lewis, number 20, come off the outside edge. He's an extremely athletic player, 10'9" broad jump, 37-inch vertical. He was a converted inside linebacker to be able to utilize more of his athleticism out in space. Expect to see number 20 and the rest of this defense flying around tonight.
3rd and 5. Carter-Samuels delivers complete, and that is back to Preston Williams. He and Abrams are dueling on the outside. Abrams stepping in for Isaiah Oliver, 2nd-round pick of the Falcons.
Great look right here. Preston Williams attacking the football. Great push off there. They're allowing those guys to be pretty physical.
He was attacking Abrams and the football.
And Abrams is going after him pretty good, but that's what 11 can do for you. That's the short stuff. Expect for them to take some deep shots over the top. First down's a great time to do that.
So Colorado's charged a timeout. State, Colorado State's conference. Buffaloes Pac-12. 28 on the board. A minute 25 to go in the first. Off and running. Carter-Samuels takes a deep shot. Looking for Jackson, overthrows him. Contact there on the outside again. Udofia and Fisher both there in coverage to slow Warren Jackson.
Defensive coordinator DJ Elliott dialing up pressure. That time didn't get home. What that's going to do is create some one-on-one situations. Here's a 3rd and long. I would fully expect Colorado State to try and feed the football to number 11.
There's been only 1 3rd down stop in this game. There's been only 2 incompletions in the game. Carter-Samuels pressured and dropped back at the 30-yard line. Mustafa Johnson, the sophomore defensive end, leads the charge.
There was some pressure up here, up inside, and then coming off the edges, the pocket just collapses immediately. This time they don't have to blitz to get there. They get there with 4, just immediate pressure up off the inside. Barry Wesley playing that guard position just became a swinging gate. And Colorado's, who wanted to get some pressure, gets home, forcing the Rams to punt.
Ryan Stonehouse hits it. Buffs brought a bunch. Blackman is back, and they forced an errant punt. So it's going to be excellent field position for Colorado, like near the 44. Keep going, 45. Wow. He's at the 47 and out of bounds there. Yikes.
Welcome back here to Denver as Colorado leads Colorado State 21-7. Colorado's quarterback, Steven Montez, already having a huge game. One of the reasons for his early success, he attended the Manning Passing Academy this offseason. Now, when we spoke to head coach Mike McIntyre, he told us one of the biggest things Montez learned from the Mannings, just how they prepare for each game. He said when they sit down to study tape, they sit down and don't set a time limit, and they won't get up until they fully understand their opponent. Now, when we asked about what impression Montez left on the Mannings, well, we were told that Archie Manning reached out to McIntyre and said Montez is a really gifted athlete, but he's an even better kid. Very high praise, guys.
That is high praise. That really is. Yeah, they like Peyton Manning around here.
Oh man.
They like Floyd Little too, number 44. And there's that discussion between Kurt Roper, simply one of the best quarterback coaches in the business, and that's one of the reasons why Steven Montez, the expectation was improvement this year. I would say perfection thus far. 11 for 11, 3 touchdowns. That's just about as good as you can get. 21-yard punt, as if the Colorado offense needed any help. They get the ball at their own 47. Their drives so far have been 5, 5, and 9 plays, all resulting in touchdowns. And right back up the middle go to Trayvon McMillan, the graduate transfer from Virginia Tech.
It's really been whatever it is Colorado's wanted to do offensively. They're keeping Colorado State honest by running balls up the middle, but it's really been on the perimeter where they found all their meat.
Likely the last play. Montez is 12 for 12. Nixon has a first down, and a rockin' start for the Colorado offense led by Steven Montez. We'll see if they snap it one more time. Why not? Things are rolling so good, you want to get in as many snaps as possible. Who can blame them? 21 on the board, 3 TDs, all of them Steven Montez. 12 for 12 in the first quarter. 2018, golden so far for Colorado, but we're only through 1 in Denver. February of 1893, the first meeting. This is the 90th between Colorado and Colorado State. Steven Montez off the takeaway by the defense. Shovel toss. Chenault has the corner. Chenault has the 35, all the way down to the 31-yard line. It was an interception, the only pass that Montez hasn't completed. That closed the last Buffalo drive, and now you're back to a 16-yard gain.
And that's considered a pass right there, and another perimeter play by Colorado, taking advantage of the lack of speed for Colorado State.
So Montez, 13 of 14, handing off Kyle Evans, the senior from San Jose, inside the 25. 4 possessions for the Buffaloes. The first 3 were touchdowns, and then the interception thrown by Montez, a guy who went 7 games without a pick last year, yet has an interception in the first half of 2018. Pulls this, tosses. It's Chenault again. He has the corner again. In the red zone again for the Buffaloes. Inside the 16. Francis, the true freshman, finally makes the stop.
They're lining up Chenault all over the place, feeding him the football. Colorado State's in a zone defense, so they're giving him everything underneath. That time, Juwan Winfrey, number 9, had a nice block out there on the perimeter that allowed Chenault to pick up the first down.
Try it up the middle again, Evans.
Josh Watson in there on the tackle. Sorry about that.
No, I'm saying any gain of 1 or 2 right now is just so surprising. Calling this one 2nd and 10, so nothing. I mean,
and this is really good because it gets them ahead of the change, which has been a rarity tonight.
Montez hands off. Evans on the ground to the 10. It's going to be third down for the first time tonight for the Colorado offense. This is the look from Field Eye. Our umpire, Robert Richardson.
Great job getting some movement at the point of attack. And Kyle Evans not messing around, getting north and south, getting half of the distance needed back for the line to gain.
Now here's a wrinkle. You're going to get Chenault taking a direct snap. Montez lined up as a receiver. The first third down play of the night for the Buffaloes. Chenault, direct snap, takes it on 3rd and 4. Pushes, has a first down. 1st and goal, Buffaloes. So they split Montez out and go Wildcat with Laviska Chenault.
That should have been a tackle for loss. Max McDonald, 44, shoots the gap. He reads it right there, but he misses in the hole. And missed tackles again, costly for the Rams down low.
1 for 1 on 3rd down for Colorado.
It's missed opportunities, Carter. You can't do it.
Chenault comes out holding his right arm. Keep an eye on that. Montez back at QB, 1st and goal. McMillan with him in the backfield. He'll take it. McMillan stood up and driven back. Josh Watson stands him up. And a gang of Rams push him back to force 2nd and goal.
Ellison Hubbard in there, getting some movement. When you're a defense, you got to be able to bow your neck here. Perimeter runs have been a problem as we see Chenault come back into the game. That's got to be a welcome sight. Don't be surprised if he doesn't get the football here, Carter. Watch Steven Montez's legs here.
1 rushing touchdown in this game already. He was their 2nd leading rusher a year ago, way behind Philip Lindsay.
Changing the play, they see something they like. Man coverage across the board.
Montez 2nd and goal. Zips it. It is caught. Touchdown. Winfrey holds it in. The 3rd passing touchdown of the first half for Steven Montez. Great throw and catch, Montez to Winfrey.
They checked out of the original play that they had because they saw that man coverage. They'll take that matchup every time. Look at the location of this football. The tremendous body control for Winfrey to go back and pluck it out of the air.
Replay is taking a closer look at that, but that's going to be a touchdown. It's confirmed. Everything is coming up Colorado in the first half. The defense gets a stop. Nate Landman gets the takeaway, the interception, and then Steve Montez bouncing back after he gets the football. 3rd touchdown pass of the first half. Rocky Mountain High for the Colorado Buffaloes. Take a look at our Go RVing road trip facts of the 90th meeting. Boulder to Denver, 29 miles, and then Fort Collins, little ways up I-25, 65 miles, but very familiar, both north of Denver. And so we're going to be back in Denver for the 91st Rocky Mountain Showdown. Then Fort Collins, 2 years off, and then home sites in the future, at least for 2023 and 2024, and points beyond as and Joe Parker and Rick George, the athletic directors, work on future scheduling. We'll see, but nice home venues as well. There's Mike Bobo on the sideline before the offense takes the field, and they're going to need a pep talk. Hawkins is going to take it inside the 5. Hawkins across the 20, takes a big pop as Hawkins gets to the 27-yard line. Fake it, looking deep. Check down, complete, Olabisi Johnson. Nearly put it on the ground, and then Johnson still gets 11, even though he was a check down. Abrams makes the tackle there.
Carter Samuels was eating sandwiches back there, Carter. There was so much time for him to be able to find the open receiver. Nice job by Colorado's back end. Starting to rain, so something to keep an eye on. These are two offenses that like to throw the football. Ball security a must for both of them, particularly Colorado State. They need all the possessions they can get.
Coorado Samuels, time to throw. Check down, and that turned dangerous in a hurry. Intended for Izzy Matthews, off of his hands.
And you wonder already if we're seeing the rain start to show up. That's exactly what we're talking about. You have to concentrate and watch those footballs into your hands. Great job by Coorado Samuels. Nobody open, hit the check down. The ball's a little bit high, but if you're Izzy Matthews, you got to bring that one down. 2nd and 10 after an incompletion. Expect a run here.
Option. Coorado Samuels drilled. Only a yard and a half, maybe. Colorado State came out trying to pound it a little bit on the ground, and Colorado has shut that down in a hurry. Very little doing in the rush game. Rick Gamboa makes this tackle.
You just see right there, you get penetration like that. I mean, that's a big load of laundry. Mustafa Johnson shooting that gap and creating a line of scrimmage. He forced Coorado Samuels back inside before he was ready to for the nice stop.
Third and 8. Pocket holds up for a moment, but not for long. Coorado Samuels will be dropped for a minimal gain on 3rd and 8. Colorado's defense again on Colorado State.
Coach is really raving about Lang. Saw him at practice, man. He looks so good. Just running around there. He's a tremendous athlete, a young player, but one of those types of players that Colorado needs up front that they think could be special and help them have a good defensive line to start to shore up this defense.
They gave up 451 yards a game last year, 109th in the nation. Lots of room for improvement. Last punt was 21 yards from Stonehouse. This one gets off a mortar shot inside the 5. Blackman. Good response by Stonehouse. Blackman's going to bring it out to the 18. There was a loose football, but saying he's down. Side judge says Blackman was down. And so the Buffaloes get it back with a 28-7 lead. Mile High.
Colorado offensively has been virtually unstoppable on the ground or through the air. And take a look at that, Carter. 8.5 yards a clip on the ground. Ball's out.
Nixon lost it. The Rams are on top with 52 seconds. Second takeaway by the Rams D. And what looked like a chance for the Buffaloes to have a commanding lead at the half.
There's no foul on the play. It's a fumble recovered by the defense. First down.
Ajayi knocks it away. Gene gets on top of the football. What a play by the freshman corner, Rashad Ajayi.
He did a tremendous job there, and that's the second series in a row we've seen Colorado receivers have some ball control issues. We saw Chenault drop an easy pass. This time it's a turnover for Colorado, breathing some life into the Rams.
2 timeouts, 52 seconds. A usually reliable kicker in Wyatt Bryant, the senior, 78%, but he missed twice last week.
Those 2 timeouts are huge. You can work the middle of the field because of them.
And that's exactly what they do. Over the middle, that's Cameron Butler, who was banged up last week. It was a big boost that he got to go this week. And timeout number 1, used by Mike Bobo in a hurry. 43 seconds. I mean, clock management was one of the issues last week for Colorado State because Bobo was in the booth. And so you're communicating through the staff to get clock management decisions and timeouts. One of the reasons he wanted to be back down on the field. Coorado Samuels setting it up. Williams has a first down, slips across the 50. Williams to the 45. Clock stops temporarily, move the chains. Now you're already nearing field goal range. That's going to affect the play calling for Bobo and the Rams.
No question. I think now you want to take a deep shot or work the outside edges to try and stop this clock.
There's the outside edge, incomplete, off the hands of Williams, knocked away. Abrams knocks it, but stops the clock 29 seconds. That's not the worst.
Abrams is playing pretty well tonight. I mean, this Colorado defense has had 4 DBs drafted in the last 2 years. Abrams did a nice job knocking the ball out there. Preston Williams with the ball in his hands is special, but he's got to concentrate and bring that one in.
1 timeout for the Rams, so you can set yourself up for a field goal Or you can take that shot and think about getting the ball back to begin the second half and make this a tight one. Coorado Samuels chase, has to heave it downfield, knocked away. Butler turns into a defensive back to knock that one away. Collier gets the pressure, and Cameron Butler saved a pick.
That time DJ Elliott elected to bring pressure, went single high safety coming off this outside edge. Izzy Matthews' eyes got wrong there for a little bit, and then just Drew Lewis just turns and bats this ball away, sees the ball coming, and Butler can't just get back on it. Big third down here. You want to try and work the edges here again, but you got to get this first down, but you're certainly in 4-down territory.
Even if you don't get the first down, you can still have the opportunity to kick on fourth, especially with the timeout. Coorado Samuels zips it. Matthews has it, so you're inside the 40-yard line. Take the timeout. 4th down, 16 seconds. And now we'll see whether you kick it or run a 4th down play. And there's that discussion.
Colorado State takes their 3rd and final timeout of the half.
Ooh, this is a juicy one. I mean, this is kind of a danged if you do, danged if you don't situation here. You got to make this. If you miss it, Colorado's got tremendous field position and an offense that's been virtually unstoppable. But this is the safer play. Give your kicker an opportunity to redeem himself from a week ago.
And Colorado puts Blackman back, so a chance to return. This is going to be a 56-yard field goal. And it's Braxton Davis who takes it. Braxton Davis's kick is no good. So they go with Braxton Davis to kick the 56-yarder. There's a flag down. So rather than Wyatt Bryan, they bring on Braxton Davis to kick from distance. Now we check the flag.
Running into the kicker on the defense. It's a 5-yard penalty. The yardage results in a first down.
First down.
10 seconds, no timeouts, first down. The Rams can take a shot. And then you have the chance, if you want to now, to spike it and try another field goal. Or you can take an end zone shot with 10 seconds.
Just a costly play and inadvertent. If you're a Buffalo fan, you are not happy about that.
It's Trey Udofia who commits the penalty. Running into 5 yards, still a first down, but the Rams have used their timeout.
Man, Preston Williams. If you're Colorado, you want to try and bracket him with a safety. There he is all the way at the top of the screen.
Here's Coorado Samuels, get it to the outside. It's incomplete, 7 seconds. Now, I mean, do you take that shot at that point? Are you trying to set up for a field goal by just getting the quick out? I think that has to be why you take that pass to the sideline rather than the shot. And now we're back to, and now it's Bryant. So Davis attempted the last one. Now it's Wyatt Bryan on for what is a 51-yard attempt from Wyatt Bryan. 6 seconds. The 51-yard attempt is good as the cannon sounds. 3 on the board. So the penalty on the first attempt by Davis leads to a second attempt by Bryan, puts 3 on the board. A takeaway by the Rams defense. They turn it into 3 before the break. Colorado State has the football to begin the second half.
Just a great positive turn of events for this Rams team, and miscues late in that second quarter. A dropped pass by Chenault. Nixon with the fumble. Then running into the kicker by Udofia, who had a huge game here last year. Colorado State to get the ball here in the second half.
The Buffaloes dominate in the first half, but 3 on the board at the end for the Rams, and it's 28-10 in Denver. Rocky Mountain Showdown. the way it's gone all night long for the Buffaloes. Just free room to run so far. 28 points on the board for Colorado. Take a look at the first half stats brought to you by DiGiorno, and guess what? They're very good for Colorado offensively. I mean, AT, when you can get 9.5 yards per play, I think the obvious question is, how does Colorado State do anything differently defensively in the second half to slow this Buffalo onslaught?
They're going to have to get their safeties involved. They were worried about putting them on an island against the pass last week, so a lot of too high safety looks. They're going to have to take one of those safeties, bring them down into the box, both to help stop the run and to apply pressure against the pass.
Remember, Colorado State had 2 defensive takeaways in that first half. Touchback? Check in with Jock.
Well, let's first start with Colorado. I spoke to head coach Mike McIntyre, and he told me we have got to cut down on the costly mistakes. He said, look, we had 2 fumbles in that first half. We had a substitution penalty in that first half. These are all things we worked on all of camp, and he said that just cannot happen in the second half. As for Colorado State, I spoke to head coach Mike Bobo, and he said, look, as bad as that first half went, it's still only an 18-point game. He said we have to defend the perimeter better, meaning our guys, our safeties and our corners, they have to be able to get off the blocks to be able to tackle guys on those perimeter runs and passes. Guys.
Thank you, John. You know, for Mike McIntyre, pressure to win now or else. That could be said just about anybody in college football. 2 years ago, you're Pac-12 Coach of the Year. Good tuck and run there by Curtis Samuels across the 35. But you're under 505 years. And, I mean, Mike McIntyre really saying, I think they're kind of bonding on everyone else calling them a failure last season. And we're seeing AT on the field exactly what Mike McIntyre said he felt from his team, that this was going to be bounce back in a hurry year from last year's disappointment of 2-7 in the Pac-12.
And it looked really good through 1.5 quarters, but they got sloppy there at the end, took their foot off the gas pedal on both sides of the ball. They can't afford to do that against a high-octane offense of the Rams.
First drive of the second half, but it feels critical for the Rams. Curtis Samuels hit as he throws. Deep shot, downfield, incomplete. Intended for Olabisi Johnson. Dante Wigley, the junior corner there in coverage, step for step with Olabisi Johnson.
Pressure is what Colorado wanted to be able to do. KJ Curtis Samuels getting hit multiple times throughout this ball game. I like the decision to take the deep shot, but again, just really good coverage on that back end. BC Johnson, no chance on that ball.
Javier Edwards lays another lick on Curtis Samuels. To the outside, incomplete, intended for Cameron Butler. And now you're in 3rd and 10 on what we just said was a critical. I mean, really, the Rams needed a touchdown on this drive. And you're in 3rd and long.
They can certainly convert, and what you've seen is a wholesale switch, putting a lot of speed on the field for Colorado. I would expect them to pin their ears back and try and apply some pressure. Change the look on KJ Curtis Samuels. They wanted to get him off his spot. Let's see if they come after him and try and do so once again.
They were down 23-7 at the half last week and came back to cut it to 6 before Hawaii eventually won last week in Fort Collins. A tougher task, especially the way the Buffaloes have played defensively. Curtis Samuels over the middle. It's incomplete. Off the hands of Warren Jackson. Colorado State is 0 for their last 5 on 3rd down, and it's a 3-and-out. We talked about the possibility of a touchdown and a touchdown on those 2 drives to close the half and start the second half. Instead, just 3 points. Here's the look from Field Eye.
You'll see the exchange, the stunt on the right side of the screen there that forced Curtis Samuels to try and distribute that ball quickly, and that's why it was off target, intended for Warren Jackson.
Correction, not 3-and-out. There was a first down on the first play, but still quickly punting away. Blackman lets it roll inside the 20, won't touch it. Down to around the 14-yard line, where the Buffaloes will take the football again. Already up 28-10 downtown Denver. If Mike McIntyre and Colorado win this game, it would be 4 straight in the Rocky Mountain Showdown for the first time since Rick Neuheisel finishing in 1998. Montez last pass, 10 passes, that's a lot of good. Also has his only 2 incompletions of the game.
2 incompletions of the game. 2 incompletions of the game. 2 incompletions of the game. 2 incompletions of the game. 2 incompletions of the game. 2 incompletions of the game. 2 incompletions of the game. 2 incompletions of the game. 2 incompletions of the game. 2 incompletions of the game. 2 incompletions of the game. 2 incompletions of the game. 2 incompletions of the game. 2 incompletions of the game. 2 incompletions of the game. 2 incompletions of the game. 2 incompletions of the game. 2 incompletions of the game. 2 incompletions of the game. 2 incompletions of the game. 2 incompletions of the game. 2 incompletions of the game. 2 incompletions of the game. 2 incompletions of the game. 2 incompletions of the game. 2 incompletions of the game. 2 incompletions of the game. 2 incompletions of the game. 2 incompletions of the
Montez fling it to the outside. There's the third incompletion of the game. And it's off McMillan, another ball that probably should have been caught.
The receiving group getting sloppy since about the middle of the second quarter. But working that perimeter, that's exactly how this game started. Colorado was working the perimeter hard with Laviska Shenault, working the edges both in the run and pass game. He's got to catch the ball to try and do something with it.
Nixon in motion. Montez is going to take it. Trying to find the edge. Rams spy on him and put a lick on him. Watson and Trey Thomas combined to greet Steven Montez, forcing the Buffs into 3rd and long on their opening possession of the second half.
That's a play that Hawaii ran, that quarterback counter with a pulling lineman. Pressure. Last year in this game, Colorado State had 5 sacks with 5 different players. They have got to find a way to get after Steven Montez to disrupt their timing on this passing game that's been virtually unstoppable. They're in a really good situation here and stand to get good field position if they can get themselves off the field.
Don't have a sack tonight. Over the middle, complete. Room to run. Catch and run. First down. Shenault has even more room to run. Goodbye. Laviska Shenault. 89 yards on the catch and run. When the Buffaloes were penned back, running free again through Mile High.
Colorado State was in a bend it but don't break situation. It's just a busted coverage. Laviska's completely left alone. 2 missed tackles later, the last one by Jordan Fogle, and it's 89 yards later for another Colorado touchdown.
4 passing TDs tonight from Montez, a rushing TD. And just when you thought the Buffaloes offense had stalled out, Shenault breaks free, the sophomore from DeSoto, Texas, the 4th different Buffalo receiver with a touchdown from Steven Montez, and Colorado's running again. 35-10, Buffaloes on the Rams. Let's go back to the 89-yard touchdown.
Well, partner, if you're going to go down swinging. Here Colorado State's going to try and bring some edge pressure there. Laviska Shenault's just going to see it. He's going to break off his route as a hot read. Colorado State was trying to bring pressure, so only 1 safety. Shenault turns, shows his numbers to the quarterback. Missed tackle. 89 yards later, and the Buffaloes offense is humming once again.
4th longest passing play in Colorado history, tying Coy Detmer to Herschel Troutman versus Colorado State in Boulder in 1995. And now Colin Hill, the sophomore from Moore, South Carolina, who has battled through 2 ACL tears, the same knee. The second was in March. Back in 2016 as a freshman, played in 5 games, started 3. He was voted a team captain this year, even though he was not the starting quarterback in game 1, even though KJ Carter-Samuels set the school record with 537 passing yards last week. Colin Hill's first action since 2016, trying to give the Rams a spark. McElroy.
There's nothing in there.
No, you're right. That's exactly right.
Yeah, you're wasting downs at this point. Yeah, you want to try and keep the defense honest. But in the first half, you average 1.5 yards per carry. Your offensive line's getting whooped. Give Colorado defensive line a lot of credit. They're winning their one-on-one matchups, clogging those holes, which is why the linebackers, particularly Nate Hardman, are running around making so many tackles.
Just the way it's supposed to go for a defense, right?
Exactly.
A defense that was giving up 208 rushing yards a game last year. That's over the middle, incomplete. Yet again, Williams had 2 hands on it, couldn't bring it in.
Williams is not playing well tonight. His concentration hasn't been there. There's 3 different balls he's had his hands on. I don't know if he heard footsteps or it's concentration, but he's the best playmaker that they have. He's got to do a better job of hauling in those balls. Now, instead of 3rd and medium, you're 3rd and very long with a defense that's put a lot of pressure on the quarterback tonight.
on 3rd and 9. Hill complete. Matthews drilled as soon as he gets the football. Abrams comes up. You talk about a tough tackling junior corner from Louisiana. Delrick Abrams drops Izzy Matthews.
DJ Elliott, the defensive coordinator, said he's made huge strides. Huge strides this camp, doing a good job. He just sits back there in that zone coverage, lets him go inside, sees the ball, breaks on it. He's been an extremely good tackler tonight. And a nice job replacing 3 starters that they lost from last year.
And we'll see the next time the Rams have the football, whether it's Hill or Curtis Samuels, but they punted away down by 25. Blackman backing up all the way inside the 5. He fields it inside his own 5. Has a seam. Blackman across the 20-yard line. Tripped up, spins out. Blackman keeps his feet all the way to the 29-yard line. Ronnie Blackman with a return to set the Buffs up again with a 35-10 lead. So why not hand it off again? Evans, all 3 plays on this drive have been handoffs.
Now Colorado State's having 6 in the box, trying to get some hats in there. I think they're a little bit leery of getting beat over the top, trying to protect their safeties, and that's always the challenge, is how do you get an extra hat down in the run game and not leave your safeties out to dry.
To the air, quick hitter, Chenault. Chenault, I tell you what, not only quick but tough. I mean, he is delivering blows. He is running through contact, and you can see why the Colorado Buffaloes thought they had. I mean, last year as a freshman, he averaged 24 yards a catch, and clearly he is a featured back receiver / everything for the Buffaloes.
He's a big, thick, physical player. Even squats with the offensive line. That's how strong he is. More than holds his own with guys that weigh more than 100 pounds in him. See some blood there on Montez's thigh at his non-throwing hand. He's in the shotgun here. I'm not surprised he's under center, but maybe he can't take the snap.
Looks like
hand.
Yep, looks like the left index finger. So handoff. McMillan bounces it outside. First down. Finds a seam. McMillan goes rolling towards the goal line. Touchdown, Colorado again. This one goes for 49. All Buffaloes.
This is just split flow zone. Where 44, Chris Bounds comes across Carter. Whether it's 3rd and long, 3rd and short, it doesn't matter. Just a great move and a jump cut by Trayvon McMillan. And then dead legs of safety, Jamal Hicks, making it look easy.
Buffaloes have made it look easy all night. Stefano's PAT, 42-10. Even when Steven Montez's bleeding hand keeps him from getting under center, keeps him from throwing the ball, just hand it off and break another big one. For the former Hokie, now he's a Buffalo, McMillan. The Buffaloes now have 4 touchdowns of 38 plus, 9 plays of 15 plus, including the 4 TDs. They're nearing 500 yards of offense. McMillan gets to celebrate. He had over 1,000 yards running for the Hokies back in 2015. First touchdown as a Buffalo touchback for Colorado State. So we see the Colorado defense, accurate, driven to succeed. One of the most incredible football stories anywhere. Davion Taylor didn't play football in high school. Family's religious beliefs precluded him from playing on weekends. But when he got to Coahoma Community College, Clarksdale, Mississippi, he walked on the football team. By the end of his freshman year, he was starting. By the end of his sophomore year, he was rated the #7 junior college player in the nation. Now he's starting in the Pac-12, drawing NFL attention. Oh, and a terrific sprinter, 6th place Pac-12 Outdoor Championship in the 100. It's incredible.
Incredible.
#1 rated outside linebacker in the junior college ranks. And the number's not big for Davion Taylor. He's on the sideline right now in this opening game, but here he comes. One of the factors is Davion Taylor playing the outside linebacker hybrid Buffalo position for Colorado. That allows Nate Landman to clean everything up inside. And Davian Taylor is just beginning to figure out football. And when he does, it's going to be an explosion. Hill delivers incomplete, intended for Cameron Butler. So second series for Colin Hill, and you're in 3rd and long again.
It really seems like Colin Hill, obviously this is his first action in quite some time, coming off the ACL. Mike Bobo and the staff wanting to get him some reps. I'm a little leery of getting him in there. Certainly he's looked good. He's been practicing. They felt like he was ready to play. But this Colorado defense has a lot of speed. They've been getting after the quarterback, but clearly they want to get him some reps tonight in a big game in front of a local crowd to try and get him ready as they move throughout this season.
First action since he started 3 as a freshman. On the roll, Hill gets rid of it. Dangerous pass. 3 Buff defenders. 4th down in a hurry.
Yeah, it's the offense has really come to a halt since Carter Samuels has come out. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see Carter Samuels get back in the game, but then you got to worry about getting him hurt. But they've got to do something offensively. They're down by 32. They were down by 30 and brought it within 6 a week ago. But that's the second 3 and out for that young man, and this offense is stagnant.
Safe to say Colorado State has plenty of worries right now. Defensively, offensively, you're staring at 0-2 as well. Blackman backed up. See if the coverage can get down there. Blackman has another chance to return. Gets it across the 33-yard line. Shovel. That's a completion.
There we go. Colorado
and there
State.
go the Rams, bringing Tony Brown down for a loss, led by Josh Watson, the senior from Blue Springs, Missouri.
Good job that time setting the edge. Look what happens when you get people to be able to fill that lane, get some penetration. That's exactly what you want and need to happen up front. Colorado State gets a rare tackle for loss as a result.
Handed off, Evans. That was the first tackle for loss tonight for Colorado State.
Man, it was even more rare than I thought.
Yes, right. It was unique, in fact. Solitary.
Solo, singular.
All alone.
Uno.
3rd and 11. Montez complete. That's Chenault slipping away, and here he goes again. Chenault finally dragged down from behind. Well, apparently he can be brought down at some point, because the last few times he's touched a football didn't look like that at all.
Plenty of time to throw the football, but it's poor tackling. I mean, you can't get a bigger lick than that, but Anthony Hawkins can't wrap him up, and Chenault just takes care of the rest. And finally, Watson, from his middle linebacker position, makes the tackle 20-plus yards downfield.
Lost it, got it back. Now Montez, you just got to eat this one, and he does. Forcing him back outside of the red zone. Caleb Smith finishes it off, and remember, he's got the bandage on the hand, and maybe that plays a role.
Yeah, that was actually McMillan, the running back, that hit him right here. He hits the ball with his elbow. Montez was smart to pick it up, but you just got to go down there. That's about the best results you could have on a play like that. Last time they checked out of a play, they saw some one-on-one coverage. There's a safety on the hash.
Gonna hand it off. Box count. Run it anyway. Running into the loaded box.
Yes, exactly what it was. I mean, if it's 2 safeties, you want to run it. Single high, you want to throw it. I mean, it's simple math, particularly with the formations that Colorado runs. That time they elect to go inside, but the Rams defensive line came to work.
Yeah, Rams are going to have to use a timeout here because they couldn't get their package on for 3rd down. So timeout defensively again for Colorado State. There's Anthony Hawkins getting to talking to from Mike Bobo. Steven Montez, I pick out some highlights. They're all pretty good.
Yeah, this was a 38-yard touchdown to open the game. He's so deadly with his legs, but then he comes back and fires a bomb to K.D. Nixon, a 48-yarder there, and just simply goes underneath to Bisharat. He's finding all of his receivers, distributing the football, but the story's really been Laviska Shenault, what he's done after the football. I mean, this offense has just been lights out, largely because of Steven Montez. And you said it earlier, Kurt, or Carter, the work that he has with Kurt Roper, who's right here, one-on-one, not as a coordinator, but as a quarterback coach only, has clearly had a very positive effect for number 12.
I think the results are in.
It's going to be a fun offense to watch this season in the Pac-12 South. Defense can continue to develop.
Roper, offensive coordinator, QB coach, South Carolina, 1 year with the Browns, Florida, Duke with David Cutcliffe. McMillan dropped again. It's Dickens who gets the stop this time. So 4th down, and here comes the kicking unit for the Buffaloes.
Colorado electing to play it as conservative as they can get, and for good measure. They got whipped up front on that series. Some credit to Colorado State for bowing their neck on that last set of downs.
39-yard field goal attempt for the sophomore from Melbourne, Australia, and it is easily good. 3 more on the board for the Buffaloes. 45-10 and the 90th Rocky Mountain Showdown. So this is the Colorado opener. Colorado State's 0-1. Colorado opener. 2 years ago, 10 wins.
But we're seeing K.J. Carter-Samuels back in this ball game. I like this decision. It gives Colorado State their best chance to move the ball offensively. I wouldn't say concerned, but interested to see how his new players were going to emerge. And I tell you what, this back end of Colorado's looked pretty dang good against an offense that put up over 600 yards last week.
Tough and aggressive, too. I mean, you've seen some tough tackling corners, which is, I wouldn't say a bonus, part of the job, but they've done it.
They're a nice-sized group playing physical. They're going to need to be as they get into that Pac-12 slate.
High snap. Carter-Samuels zips it complete. 50. Move it again. Hall. He's the true freshman from Calabasas, California. The Buffalo offense with 45 points on the board headed to the 4th, but the Buffalo defense has held its own. All CU headed to the 4th.
Welcome back here to Denver as Colorado leads 45-10. Colorado State quarterback was a graduate transfer from Washington, and when he was trying to decide what school to go to, he said the offense was ultimately the deciding factor in getting him here to Colorado State. But one added benefit he admitted to us was the fact that his sister Gabby is a volleyball player at Colorado, so she is very close to K.J. Carter-Samuels. Now, she could not be here tonight because Colorado was actually playing a game tonight in Seattle versus Illinois. We heard, unfortunately, that she lost that game, but have bragging rights within the family, guys.
Thank you. A libero. You know all about this, AT, and I know you follow the Colorado State volleyball program because of your allegiance.
Tom Hilbert.
You want to explain?
Yes, yeah. My wife Lena was coached in college by the current volleyball coach at Colorado State, so I know all about the libero and the bump set spike and all those different techniques that she hates. When
I was just about to say, she hates your volleyball analysis. I know that.
It's awful.
McElroy has room to run on the outside, brought down by Nick Fisher, a sophomore back from Denver, Mullen High School, Bo Scape's alma mater.
Akeel Jones, the backup linebacker inside there on the second level, mix of starters and backups. But McElroy, really, from what we've seen through 2 games, Carter, I've been more impressed with him and his ability to run than I have been with Izzy Matthews.
Gain at 24, longest rush of the night for the Rams. End around, Hall. The speedy freshman takes a pop against 9. Skip Landman another tackle. I don't think the Rams are going to be excited to see Nate Landman for a couple more years, the way that he has wrecked things from sideline to sideline, plus some for Colorado tonight.
Well, his nickname's a hammer. How do you think he got that? Look how quickly he diagnoses and then has the speed to be able to close out there on the perimeter on the receiver.
Well, Mark Johnson, the voice of the Buffs, just said he's a football playing Jesse, and I think we would all agree if there's a football playing Jesse out there right now, it is Nate Landman.
I don't even know what that is, but I agree with it.
Right. It's one of those.
He's a baller, man.
It's usually finished off with the word "well." He's a football playing Jesse. Well. Carter Samuels pitch and catch to the outside.
Uh-oh, be careful there.
Could have been a penalty. Adofia. E.J. Scott with a catch. So Colorado State inside the Buffalo 20, and here in the fourth quarter in a 35-point game, we tell you that tonight's Red Zone is brought to you by Verizon. Perfect last week, and this is the first trip inside the Red Zone tonight for Colorado State.
I've been impressed all night with Delrick Abrams. Coming off the edge and run support. He's a big guy, 6'3", 215 pounds. From Independence Community College. He's a big physical cornerback, shown an ability to be able to cover. Got some length to him, but he's also physical. Putting his hand in there and knocking balls out. Jamming guys up at the line of scrimmage and setting the edge.
McElroy finds the edge and takes it inside the 5. First and goal, Colorado State on the first Red Zone trip.
Going to be split flow zone. You bring the fullback across to the other side. McElroy just sneaks out. That action of the back coming across freezes the linebacker. Well designed and executed play.
And this is still the ones out there for the Colorado defense. Option toss. McElroy's going to like that. On the outside, tackle for a loss. Darian Rakestraw, the sophomore from Woodstock, Georgia.
It's a backup safety. That action just playing against the option. Again, you've got guys that are one step ahead of this offense, seemingly extremely athletic out on the perimeter. This is speed that they just simply didn't have a season ago. They're more physical and more fast. I think we're going to see a considerable improvement with this defensive team for the Buffs.
8 tackle for loss by the Buffaloes. Second and goal, Carter Samuels had a man wide open and missed him, dragging, and boy, that's the look. QB who knows he missed a TD, Brendan Fulton, is open.
This defense has been on the field for Colorado for 27 minutes, but this is just a busted coverage. He's wide open. They're playing sloppy here again. They played really well all night long.
I'll tell you what, I'll spin it into another positive for the Buffs. If you have a 35-point lead at this point and the head coach got a chance to say, guys, you didn't do what we needed to do.
But when you're trying to pick yourself up off the mat, you got to play with greater discipline than they've showed at the end of both these halves.
Third and goal, knocked away. Another solid play by Rakestraw. So he's getting some burn. Knocks that one away from Cameron Butler. Fourth and goal.
Here's a look at the field eye. That umpire getting out of the way, and just a great play on the ball by Rakestraw.
Field goal unit coming out. I mean, if you're going to have any chance, you got to put it in the end zone here, but
I think they're more trying to build confidence at this point. I mean, you're switching quarterbacks out. Why not go ahead and kick a field goal here? If they wanted to win this game and were planning to do so, they would have left KJ Carter Samuels in.
That'd be the loneliest cannon shot. 45-13, all Colorado on Colorado State, 8:39. Let's take another look at our keys to the game, brought to you by America's Navy. I think you could pretty simply figure this one out.
Basically, yes to Colorado, no to Colorado State. Offensively, 543 yards of offense. They did have the 2 turnovers. The defense must pressure the quarterback. Even though there was only 2 sacks, they harassed K.J. Carter-Samuels all night. Offensively for Colorado State, just didn't get it done. Drastically different than what it was a week ago. And then the pass rush to help those DBs. They couldn't stop the run. They couldn't get a pass rush. This defense might have arguably taken a step back from what they did a week ago. There's a lot of work to be done on that side of the ball. They've got Arkansas and Florida up next.
That does not bode well.
No Perdoodles.
Across the 20, across the 25. Finally down near the 31-yard line.
And then LaVisca Chenault, it was him early on in this game. What a weapon this young man is. Rocky Mountain Showdown record, 211 yards receiving. And a lot of those were touch passes, which are kind of speed sweeps, but count as passes. But they found a lot of different ways to use him as a weapon.
Tyler Lytle is into the game. Third Colorado quarterback. This is the redshirt freshman from Redondo Beach, California. So not only a chance to give Sam Neuer, the sophomore, some snaps, but now Tyler Lytle in his first action as a Colorado Buffalo.
This is part of the benefit of having a route. You get to play your younger players. You're on the road. I mean, you're not far from home, but still you're away from home. These are meaningful snaps against a rival. You never can have too many quarterbacks that are ready to play. Good opportunity for these young players.
Big hole. Bisharad takes the pop but rolls to the 40. And another big gain for the Buffs, just adding to their incredible offensive night. That's a gain of 20.
Colorado's just really dominated the line of scrimmage. This is just a power play football 101. Pull the backside guard. Get up on the middle backer, boom. Just stay north and south, getting his hip. The field eye camera catching a beautiful look at one of the most simple and beautiful running plays in football.
Tyler Lytle went through spring ball, so enrolled early at CU so he could go through spring practices. Servite High School. Father Mike played safety at the University of Hawaii.
It's been a long night for that defense. I'll tell you what, Bobo's going to have to really do one of his better coaching jobs. You got to fix these problems that you have on the defensive side of the ball, but you also have to worry about your team's psyche, particularly with Arkansas coming into your home track next week.
Bisharad going to take this one inside the 20-yard line. I mean, backups versus backups. Rams still can't stop the Buffaloes.
And you got to get yourself off blocks. Look at those holes, man, and then missed tackles. It's just not very good football right now.
This one was supposed to be close. Colorado State was actually favored in the opener. They lost to Hawaii. This one's supposed to be close. It's not. And then you know Colorado State is going to be underdogs against Arkansas and at Florida. So you're looking at a real possibility of 0-4 for the Rams, coming off of 3 straight 7-6 bowl years.
Nice tackle.
But you never know. You never know.
Let's take a look at Colorado State's schedule here, Carter. I think you can chalk this one up in the loss column. But those next 2 games against SEC foes, one out of the West, one out of the East, could take its toll on this team. You could be 0-4 going into Illinois State. That's a game you have to win. And then you get into conference play. They're already 0-1 in conference with that unexpected loss against Hawaii. You take a look at that schedule, they've certainly got their work cut out for them as the season moves along.
Lytle just going to take a knee. Colorado State 2 timeouts, but inconsequential at this point.
think that's good sportsmanship. You'd always want to see your offense, especially with the backups in, let them taste blood a little bit, if you will, get into the end zone and score. But this is a solid move by Mike McIntyre, not surprising. Both of these coaches have a lot of reverence for each other. McIntyre texting Bobo starting in the summer when he heard about his peripheral neuropathy and the neurological issue he's been dealing with. This is what football is about. This is great sportsmanship here.
And you're absolutely right, Aaron. I mean, that's Mike Bobo and Mike McIntyre are both very well liked and very well respected in the college football coaching community. And Mike McIntyre said, yeah, it was a lot of prayers from our program, from our family, and hoping that Coach Bobo football is way at the back when you talk about serious health issues. And I'm sure Mike McIntyre is going to be very happy to walk across field and shake hands with Mike Bobo and get the chance to do that. Good to see Coach Bobo on the sideline. The Rams will go to 0-2 on the year. And the 90th Rocky Mountain Showdown dominated by the Coorado Buffaloes. It is 4 straight. For the first time since the run from 95 to 98, 4 straight wins for the Buffaloes. Now it should be officially in the books. McElroy and the carrier, they're ready to shake hands. So Colorado wins the opener in 2018. And what was a critical game for the Buffaloes to come out and show their fans that 2017 was behind them. Mission accomplished. 1 week in for Mike McIntyre and the Colorado Buffaloes. And encouraging words from Mike Bobo and Colorado State. The Rams fall to 0-2. Arkansas coming to Fort Collins next weekend.
This is a 7 to 8 win team, I think, looking at Colorado. If you're a Buffs fan, you have to like what you see. This defense, in my opinion, is vastly improved from a season ago. And I think their 2018 schedule through the Pac-12 South will bear that out.
Four straight for the Buffs in the Rocky Mountain Showdown. Dominant fashion tonight in downtown Denver. 45-13. For producer Scott Brandwine, director Matt Plundo, Aaron Taylor, John Schriffen, our entire crew, I'm Carter Blackburn. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Now let's send it to Brett Stover, BJ in Houston, Inside College Football, presented by Go RVing.